We're about news, commentary, conversations, truth, liberty, and God. We stand for American values and our flag. We believe that the Constitution is a document that fortifies rights already given to us by our Creator. We will not apologize for our love of God and country, ever. We are Right America Media.
Copyright infringement coming right up. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Shadow Band Podcast. I am Julie, the Pretty Patriot. I am here with Tyler at Fucking History, Keith, whose name we will not mention, who we suckered into getting onto TikTok, who's new to social media.
He's hooked.
First of all, I gotta call out the producer who started this whole disco thing, and now for whatever reason he's channeling his inner Steve Rubell. So this is like the Studio 54 studio.
Yeah, it makes me want to do some cocaine.
Yeah, bust out a line. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Sorry, TikTok.
Because all of you are hot. All of you are hot.
I was gonna say that's a very appropriate,
It's like a Chinese
intro.
sweatshop in here.
It
Oh my
is.
god. I'm just kidding. It's not that
Without the tariffs.
bad. So how's everybody doing tonight?
You are not sewing.
I can't
You're
with my
not
nails.
sewing little things, you know.
No. Making sneakers.
Oh, I'm not
couldn't
too
do it.
bad. Did everybody have a good weekend?
Yeah.
Good Memorial
Yeah.
weekend? Anybody do any barbecuing?
Did not.
No.
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 What is wrong with you guys?
Stayed at home.
Yeah.
Did nothing. Like a loser.
Like a loser.
Like a loser.
I accomplished something this weekend that I've
What
been
is
trying
that?
to accomplish. I built a shed.
You built a whole ass shed by
I
yourself?
bought a lawnmower.
Nice.
Finally bought a ride-on lawnmower. I'm moving up in the world.
Dad goals.
Dad goals.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as it fucking came in the driveway, my son, which actually, by the way, I have been fighting a sick baby all fucking weekend who has hand, foot, and mouth.
Oh, no.
Is that what that shit's called?
It's a rash.
Yes. It's like rash and spots and shit. And he looks like he's got the plague. I was like, what the fuck?
He's a little leper. Little
He-
Jameson the leper.
Yeah, he had a bad fever. Exactly.
That didn't sound so sympathetic.
Why does that warrant a trombone fail? It's not a fail. It's a sick child.
That's better.
You insensitive
Where did
asshole.
he get it? You're having too much fun with the soundboard. I like it. No, but he's starting to feel better.
Oh, yes. Oh, the Beavis and Butthead. Keep that going.
You got Beavis and Butthead on there?
He's not here. He's like out having his butt cleaned.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
got
anal
Beavis and
bleaching.
Butthead.
There's a
Oh,
great
wow.
topic. We should talk about anal bleaching.
Anal bleaching.
Do you
There we
bleach
go.
your
Bleaching.
asshole?
Oh, always.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, it's
Do you
pink.
wanna
It's,
What's the process? Walk us through it.
I have no idea, actually.
Do you spread them?
I have never. Have you ever seen the? This is an internet thing. This goes to show you how stupid the internet is.
No.
Anal sunning.
Yes.
I've heard of anal
This
sunning.
this is when you
Yes.
you go out in a lovely mountainside and go spread eagle.
Put your heels up
and,
like your
put
Kamala
your-
Harris.
Put
and
your
just
yep.
kicking
You
on
you
back.
you pull a Kamala Harris and you enjoy the rays of the sunshine on your chocolate starfish.
Make it not a white chocolate starfish.
Well, I mean that's a
well-
sensitive area right there. If you get sunburned,
Oh my God.
ow,
gonna suck.
aye.
When I was a kid, we were in the woods. I used to live at Bear Brook State Park, and I was probably like 8 or 9, and I went to the bathroom in the woods, and I tried to do the leave thing, and it was poison ivy. Yep, all over me.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was a
The
rough.
scrot.
It was a rough couple days.
Yeah.
Not good. Not fun. I have never told anybody that. That has been a deep, dark secret that is now out on the internet.
And then you
All
hooked
of
up with a
TikTok
chick at the
knows.
bus station and then realized that was not poison ivy. Yeah, so.
By the way, anybody who's watching, we have a phone number now. You can call 888-603-8255. You can call in and talk some shit with us and join the live, and we'll have some fun.
You got to do that with the announcer voice.
888-603-8255. How's that?
That was close.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I got to work on it. You got to coach me.
Triple
You do
eight
it.
603-8255 if you'd like to be a part of tonight's program. We make that nice and easy for you. 888-603-TALK. Phone lines are open.
God damn, you just made me feel like I want a new car.
You get a new car, and you get a new car, and you got to pay taxes on the car. You know, nobody got the car because they couldn't afford the taxes on the car.
True story.
So, yeah.
True
yeah.
story.
Is that what would happen on, what was that show, The Price is Right? Did that happen on that show too? Like
Quite a bit, yeah. You were
you
responsible. If you hopefully you were lucky and you got the cash and the prizes because the cash would offset, but then you had to pay taxes on the cash as well too. And
What a scam.
because you were in California, you were paying a California state income tax as well as federal taxes. So pretty much all you would walk away with is your charbroiler or whatever.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Getting
So
that fucking
not quite as lucrative as people thought it
sun
was.
bleach butthole punch
So-
for taxes. It's rough.
Yeah, that's where you're going to take it. So.
So we are very, very lucky. We have Miss Claire Patriot tonight hopping in with us. I don't know if she'll pop up on the screen. There she is.
There
Hey,
she
pretty
is.
Girl. Joining in the insanity with all of us tonight.
Yeah, so it was a hell of an intro with bleached assholes, and
This is what you're getting yourself into.
this is why we were hedging
TikTok
bets.
vibes.
But that sounds like a bleached asshole sound.
That did. That. As you can see,
Sorry.
why we were hedging bets on how long we can go before we get banned.
But we haven't talked about transgenders or anything else like that. So, I mean,
Yeah, maybe bleached assholes skins by, but
Do you think-
transgenders.
Wait, do transgenders bleach their assholes? Probably not.
Now's that time for that. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
No, I can't see them doing
There we go.
that. No.
Has anybody seen what the fuck is going on with Trump and Harvard? I just breezed past the article. You're nodding your head. Inform me.
Yes, I have. So they don't want to back down. They don't want to do what he has said as far as keeping the students safe on campus. I don't want to get into the whole debate about the different sides, but
Is it
they
the-
don't want to do it.
The Schmizriel and
Yes.
Schmalstein.
So they don't want to keep their students safe on campus. They're refusing to cooperate. So he is taking away funding, and he also is taking away their ability to enroll like foreign students. Visas
No
for
shit.
them. Yeah.
I was wondering what was going on with that. I've only heard Trump administration moves to cut all federal ties with Harvard. Oh, no shit.
See, here's the problem with this, though. Enjoy it right now because the moment there is a new president, this is all going to be. It's politics is now transitioned, if I can use that word, into a new realm where it's literally all we're going to do is undo the actions of the previous administration. And it's going to be, and Biden, unfortunately, Biden just wrenched the floodgates open on this. It's going to be lawfare and targeting the previous administration. Despite a long-standing tradition of not doing that, this is, I think, going to be the new norm in politics. And if you want to talk about dysfunctionality in Washington, D.C., you ain't seen nothing yet. Nothing.
Yeah, but didn't Biden do that? Like, I know that there's like the tradition of you're not supposed to attack or fuck with the previous administration, but I feel like Biden spent the whole 4 years doing that to Trump.
Well, he did. He
Yeah,
did. And,
like
and
court
and
cases and
ostensibly, it was because it wasn't because of what Trump did in his first term. It was the threat, the existential threat that Trump represented to the Democrat Party in being a very viable candidate for a second term, and that's exactly what happened. So it wasn't so much punishing him for what he did, it was trying to undermine any attempts that he had of being reelected in 2024.
Yeah.
That's what that boiled down to. And they knew. I mean, the writing was on the wall that Trump was definitely going to be the nominee. There was no question about that.
Yeah.
And I don't think there was any question that he was going to wind up winning. It was just a question of whether or not that the Democrats could cheat enough to actually block a Trump victory. And I mean, to be honest with you, it was a Hail Mary pass. What happened with Biden? The fact that
Like him dropping out.
The fact that he dropped out, and the fact that there was absolutely, I mean, for Democrats are ostensibly supposed to be champions of democracy, yet it was not a democratic process.
No.
When we're referring to the installation of
Kamala.
Kamala, what's the nickname?
How do you
for her?
pronounce it? Is it
Heels up
Kamala?
Harris?
Kamala?
Camel toe. Just
Camel
call her
toe.
camel toe. Whatever.
Camel
She's
toe
so
Harris.
Throat
disgusting.
goat.
Throat goat.
She got in her position somehow.
So yeah,
Wasn't it like a judge or something?
Willie Brown.
Willie Brown.
Good old
That's
Willie
who
Brown.
it was.
Yep.
What was he? Was he give me the backstory. What do you know?
Well, there was just that was a lot of fellatio.
Her lips were numb after.
Yeah, she's. Yep. I could. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna. I'm gonna be. I'm gonna preserve the interest of etiquette and decorum.
Oh, now you're gonna bring. Now you're gonna bring in etiquette and decorum.
Yeah.
Boo.
So, I want to tear into some clips. That's what I
Yeah.
want to
Do you have those clips of that she sent you?
Yes. So I wanted to surprise. Well, we wanted to surprise you with 2 videos from a certain Chris Valenti. We know that you're newer to TikTok and social media, and I know there are so many people on there that you would just absolutely love. This one in particular, we thought you would really enjoy.
Okay.
So, scroll through his page after this as well.
I know.
Like,
Can you do that? Can you
Absolutely,
actively
Mr.
like?
Brother, it says in our God-given Constitution that I have the right to bear arms.
Well, clearly they meant to write all citizens get due process, not all persons. It's open to interpretation.
America is not a Christian nation. Yeah, you're right. It never has been either. Separation of church and state, secular society. Founding fathers made that abundantly clear. If you disagree with me, you're an idiot. Have a good one.
So that's his entire personality.
Wow.
He's a big hard ass that has never had his ass beat in his entire life, and he's a very smug individual. So
That's just scratching the
That's
surface.
barely
by the way.
anything.
If
Barely
you were to
anything.
go through his page, oh my God, does it just? And the thing is, though, is this guy used to make amazing history videos. Like all he did was history, and he told great stories about history. And then right after Trump won, he fucking melted down and became that.
lost it. He was
And-
trying to say Trump was gonna enact martial law on April 20th on Easter Sunday, and prove me wrong. He says, "Here we are. It's May whatever 27th."
You know how long we've been hearing this martial law? Obama was gonna martial law. He's not going to step down. He's not going to. And I'm so tired of hearing this rhetoric. Trump's not going to step down. And then it was Obama's not going to step down. Then it was Biden's not going to step down. No, he's going to fall down. This is all that we hear. Okay, and the bottom line is, listen, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're not going to have somebody dictatorially assume power and stay in the office of the presidency. It's not going to happen.
No. And I really don't. Everybody's saying that Trump's going to run for a 3rd term. I really don't believe he's going to. I feel like I really feel like Trump is like the king of trolling. Like
he is.
He loves to troll people and just he knows everybody is hanging on to every fucking word he says, and all it takes is one little fucking sentence to just stir him up.
All he has to do is go on Twitter. Remember when Twitter was big? So you go on Twitter, and he could literally stop the presses. And the way that I always likened it, everybody enjoys what you do when you play with a cat and a laser pointer.
Yes.
And so Trump, the laser pointer was social media, and the cat was the media, and they would go nuts. So you know what? Yeah, I would toy with them. Yep, I'm not going to step down. I'm going to stay in here. I'm going to run for a 3rd term, and just sit back and watch their heads explode.
It's great
because it's raw comedy. These people,
it really is.
And I said this in a previous show that I was just on. These people, when you look at all of these different terms, right? So you talk about the transgender issue, and they've got the 52 different genders, and they all have these different terms. They are masters of memorizing the thesaurus. But what the one thing that they haven't mastered is the art of the intelligent debate. They have no critical thinking skills whatsoever. They have no analytical power or analytical prowess whatsoever. They cannot compare and contrast two competing ideas or thoughts.
Correct.
And this is where they fall apart. They can hurl names because they're masters at memorizing.
Yes.
And this is something, you talk about education snobbery, right? I don't care the fact that you've got a degree in something, because all that proves in today's academia is that you were intelligent enough to memorize and regurgitate on demand. But intelligence true IQ is the ability to analyze, to take two competing ideas and to compare and contrast and juxtapose those ideas. And when you look at people who don't have the ability to engage in critical thinking, go back to 2017. I was invited to a panel at Dartmouth College, and there was a history professor there. Now, I, as a local media, as a local talk radio show host, was invited to go there and to talk about the history of the Constitution. And it took about 7 minutes before a tenured history professor at Dartmouth College was literally standing over me, posturing me, asking me to go outside in the parking lot because he wanted to throw knuckles. And I turned to the audience and I said, this is a perfect example of an educated idiot. This guy thinks because he's got a PhD that he's smarter than everybody else, but he's getting his ass kicked in terms of conversational debate about the Constitution with somebody who doesn't have a doctorate. And he can't possibly understand why somebody who is not his educational equal is literally wiping the floor with him. So his manifestation of anxiety is outrage. He's angry because he doesn't have an outlet for the anxiety he's feeling. And oh my God, this just infuriated him even more. He was literally standing over me, posturing me. And I'm like, this is what I've reduced you to. This academic, this highly intelligent and highly educated professor. And you want to take this little old talk show host out into the parking lot and you want to throw knuckles, which, by the way, wouldn't end well for you. But let's assume for a moment that you
fuck
got
him
your
up,
way.
Keith.
You know, it's like, seriously? I mean, how about we stick to what we're here for, which is to have an intelligent conversation.
They can't do that.
To
They don't
debate,
want that.
But they don't. They
don't want
can't
that.
do that.
No, they can't do that. They don't want that. They're going to throw out every single buzzword they can at you, any verbiage that they read from a headline. They're not going to look into things. They're not going to read deeper into things. They're going to look at these words and what everyone else is talking about on social media, and they're just going to run with that. If you prove them wrong, or their pride and their ego is going to get in the way, they're going to call you a name. They're going to threaten you, and that's that's as far as it goes. It doesn't matter what your education level is. You could be a professor. You could be numbnuts on the street. Every single one of them will do that. And it's pride and it's
ego. Women didn't have the right to vote until 1920. Women couldn't open a bank account in the United States until 1974.
When did men get the right to vote?
Oh, okay, I know this is exactly what you were talking about. This is what you're known for, is like getting people on a technicality that we don't historically know. But the answer to that is no. The answer to that
the answer is that's no.
No, the answer to that is the fact that in 1920 everyone was given the right to vote, but there were still barriers to vote for people of color.
When did men get the right to vote?
The right to vote was guaranteed to all people in 1920, according to the 19th Amendment.
Yeah, before 1920, were all men allowed to vote?
No.
Okay, great.
They weren't.
And then even when men's
because
suffrage
of white
was passed,
supremacy and because our system was not founded equally.
Are you aware that men only got any rights to vote about a decade, roughly, before women?
That is not true. Men have been the founding fathers were all men, so I have no idea what you're talking
What
about.
does that have to do with the right to vote?
The right to vote was historically withheld from men of color. It was a white.
It was also withheld from
Listen to
the
me.
general population.
Do not cut me off. Do not cut me off. I am in the middle of speaking.
I don't care if you're in the middle of speaking. You're in the middle of a debate.
The right to vote.
You don't have your TikTok mute button, sweetheart?
I will not be speaking anymore until you have a conversation with him.
Well, look,
mute button.
If we can, for both people, if we can allow each other to finish, even if you want to jump in, just let the other person finish speaking.
Look how fucking pissed she looks.
Going on a monologue and they're filibustering, I'll try to get them to wrap up. But just if they're making a point, Just try to let them finish.
No, I did not go to school for 4 years and build a platform to be talked to like this. So I will be walking away from the microphone right now.
Bye-bye.
I encourage you to get your guests
Shocker.
under control. I'm going to take 2 minutes so you can ask him questions if you'd like, and I will be right back.
Because you run the show?
I just won't be back. And we already
I don't give a shit. I'm here to have a debate, not listen to your whining. Do you want to have a debate or not?
All right, I'm not going to be talked to like this.
Well,
so.
do you want to just take a little 2-minute breather? You want to take a 2-minute breather?
That was
amazing.
beautiful.
Oh my god, I love the whatever podcast. That podcast is the shit. But that's the prime example. Is like the second they start to lose an argument, they just no, I'm not doing this.
Meltdown.
No, I'm not doing this. You know who fucking does this all the time in lives is Dean Withers and Harry Sisson and Chris Mowry. Those fucking three.
Yes.
I've seen so many lives where they're debating somebody, and the second that the argument starts to slip away from them and they start to lose, they just mute them or kick them.
Yes.
Every fucking time.
Yep.
Without fail. Claire, have you ever been in one of their lives?
No. I watch because I like to get content, but I think of it as kind of pointless. If they came into mine, I would talk to them, but going into theirs, they're just gonna kick because they're not gonna like what I have to say.
Exactly. Every fucking time. Without fail. By the way, everybody, for anybody who's watching, 888-603-8255. How was that? Was that faster?
Don't go fast. Just enunciate it. Make it exciting, like you're giving away a car.
888-603-8255. Call if you would like to talk some shit with us. Better?
Yeah,
You're gonna have to coach me on this.
When you call in, what's the last four?
8255. Talk. That actually spells talk, by the way. Talk.
Talk.
Yeah, T-A-L-K, not T-A-W-K.
I just spit across the table. I'm so sorry.
Say it, don't spray it.
That got some distance, though. I'm not gonna lie.
888-603-8255. If you would like to jump in and share your thoughts with us, you can do that. 888-603-TALK. That's 8255. Phone lines
He's too
are
good with
open.
it. I would buy a
You
car
can
from
actually
you. I would buy a car
you
from
can
you.
converse with our producer.
Juan.
Juan. It takes one to know one.
Yeah. I love the
Butthole
sound
sound.
effects. I love when he comes in with these sound effects. So I think we're going to start moving into our Doom Scrolls segment. Doom, 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 doom. Where our producer is going to throw up some random clips that he finds, and we are going to react to them live and give our feedback. What do you got lined up for us today, Juan? Are you going to make us laugh or cry?
Oh my god.
Cry.
How's it going? Oh, my back hurts. Oh, I'm sorry to hear
Claire's
that.
face.
I woke up and my back hurt too. But you lack a proper back, so how does that work?
What the fuck is even that?
Oh, I see. Your stick gets sore. Well, it happens to half of us.
What the fuck does that mean?
That thing has things in the
Are
basement.
you having a nice day?
Once you fuck off, yes. Some children threw sand in my eyes.
What
How
the
did that
fuck
make you
is
feel?
that?
But nobody sees my true spirit.
Lonely?
It's not funny, you stinky
Well,
bitch.
if you weren't such an asshole,
Stinky bitch.
maybe you'd have friends.
Stinky bitch. Crunchy friends.
You're the friends.
Crunchy friends.
You don't know what friends are?
Food source.
Don't look at me.
All right, so I got to say, as a fan of Sesame Street, it's really, really sad to see Carol Spinney sink to such lows. I mean, that was the voice of Cookie Monster, obviously. And this is what happens when Cookie Monster is on meth.
What the fuck is going on with your For You page?
I need to know how many views that had.
Yes, for real. You got to inform us later on how many views that fucking thing had. And I feel like if that was genuine, that's concerning.
Yeah.
I hope that was somebody just dressing up, just trying to like play fucking some sort of satirical character. But if not, they probably want to go read to your kids.
I would imagine that is somebody who is probably going to call somebody else a transphobe.
Yes.
You know, if they showed up on a blind date and found that.
See, the thing that I don't understand about the word transphobic is wouldn't that imply that you're scared of them?
Implies fear.
Like, I'm not scared of trans people.
Mm-mm.
Like, I'm not.
They're afraid of
And-
themselves.
Exactly. It's
They're
like,
afraid of
how the
themselves.
fuck do you expect me to accept who you are when you couldn't even accept who you are? Get the fuck out of here. I'm not playing that game with any of these fucking people.
Well, I don't even think it's well. I agree with you on that, but I mean, I think it goes one step further, and that is, it's the conversation about tolerance versus acceptance. I mean, people are, oh, you're so intolerant. No, I tolerate you. I'm just not going to accept it. That's personal.
Yeah,
Tolerance is what I do to stop you, and I don't do anything to stop you. I would stop you if you were, trying to shake your genitalia in the face of a child, because again, I've called these people out time and time again for being overt sexual deviants. Yes. So yeah, I mean, I would want to stop you or prevent you from exercising your sexual deviancy with a prepubescent or even a slightly post-pubescent audience. That's not acceptable, and so I won't accept that, and I won't tolerate that. But I mean, as far as it's concerned, you want to dress up, you want to be a freak, you want whatever the case may be. Listen, whatever makes you happy. But here's the thing. When it comes to liberty and it comes to Constitution, you want to have your rights. You want to be free to be who you are. Mm-hmm. And that's awesome. But you also have to respect the second portion of that, or the backside of that, which is, I am free to be free from you. You want to be free to be who you are? Yeah. That's awesome. But I have a right to be free from you. And when I am not free to be free from you being free to be who you are, that's where we have a constitutional conflict. And that's where I say, no, it's neither acceptable nor will it be tolerated.
Completely agree. Preach it. Fucking preach it, Keith. The thing is, though, is like, I agree with you, is I don't give a shit what you want to pretend to be. If you want to pretend to be a man, you want to pretend to be a girl, you want to pretend to be a fucking horse wearing a pillowcase. Like, I don't give a shit. My only issue is where you tell me that I have to believe it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I have to change my view of fucking reality and accept that you are what you think you are. You could dress up like a horse and giddy up and gallop around the fucking post office for all I give a shit. But don't tell me that I have to believe that you are a horse.
Just to make you comfortable when you're making us technically uncomfortable. We're not complaining about being uncomfortable. We go on our merry way, but don't force that upon us. Go do what you want behind closed doors, so you're not hurting anybody, hurting kids.
Well, that's
Nobody
proof
cares.
positive. That's proof positive that what they're actually seeking is validation.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's
all
not
attention.
about them being them, because it's I need to be validated in this. So it's, I mean, in addition to having psychological issues, you've got psychological issues.
See, this is what it all comes back to. It's a mental health issue. It's mental health. Like,
I'm pretty sure it is as well.
It all comes back to mental health.
I think so
They
as
need an
well.
eval.
Do you see a lot of trans people in Florida?
No, I haven't seen like any. No.
Lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's my area though.
Yeah, it could be. I remember the first
It could be
time
my area.
I grew up, where I grew up north, we had, and this was like when all this transgender shit started to like really flourish into what it was ending up being today. But this was back in like 2008 maybe, and we had this kid. I'm not going to mention his name, but he wanted to be a girl, and he dressed up like a girl, and he got. When we all were trying to tell him, like, bro, we've known you like our whole lives. Like, you're not a girl. If you want to pretend to be a girl, that's fine. But like, we're not gonna believe you. Like, we're not gonna call you Caitlyn or some shit. And he lost his fucking mind. Like, absolutely lost his fucking mind. Melted down. Went on like this just tirade of like cutting people off, of like, oh, you don't accept who I am. It's like, it's not who you are. I'm sorry. You're not.
No matter how
this
hard you
character.
cosplay what you're trying to be here, you're still never going to be that. You can dress up like a woman. You can put lipstick on a pig. It's still a fucking pig.
But it's the validation thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like he was
wanted
looking
people
for
to be
us
like,
to
yes.
validate him.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you guys not believe that I'm a girl?
Right.
It's like, it's an attention thing, I feel
let
like.
me ask all three of you here. Do any of you have an issue with somebody identifying as, for me personally, let me frame it this way. For me personally, I don't care. I don't care. But I don't understand why we have to have these nonstop, never-ending, incessant conversations about validating you. Okay, you want to dress up as a woman? You want to do this? Again, I don't think the argument is that anybody cares. The issue is, number one, don't force this down the throats of children. Number two, stop performing these Frankenstein-esque surgeries on children who don't even have fully developed brains yet.
Exactly.
And stop pumping these people full of hormones, because you're doing irreparable damage. And the question is, number one, when you start putting these chemical cocktails into non-formed brains, what are the unintended consequences that you're creating?
And the thing is, though, is this is still so new that they don't know.
Right.
They have no idea
Yeah,
what the
also-
long-term
Yeah.
effects of this is.
They're guinea pigs.
What was it, Claire?
Yeah, I was just agreeing. They have no idea. It's so fresh. I have an issue with the whole thing, but you're doing these things when you don't even know if they're safe. Like, what is going to happen to these people when they become full-on adults later in life? Like, you don't know.
I feel like there's going to be a spike in suicide, honestly. I hate to say it, but I feel like there's going to be this whole generation of very young children. Like, I'm talking like 5, 6 years old that are doing these fucking treatments, and they're going to grow up, and once they hit like 18, 19, 20, they're going to be like, what the fuck did I do?
I think there is a higher suicide rate with that community. And I think it's the meds and everything that they're going on and fucking with their
and
hormones.
here's the thing. If you're so sure of it, then why are all of these organizations and these pharmaceutical companies demanding that they have exemptions from liability? Because if you are given these drugs and these doctors are now prescribing these drugs, and what happens to the child who's and again, let's talk about the parents who are trying to live vicariously through their children.
Yes, let's bring that
so
up.
Mom and dad, whatever that means today, suddenly now are identifying as trans. So they're raising a child as trans, and now that kid is in actuality not trans, because again, when you look at true transgenderism, you're looking at less than 0.1% of the population. But when you listen to the narratives coming out of the left, this is 30-40% of the population.
Yeah,
So-
they're just the loudest.
So, here's the thing. Why, if you're so convinced that this is the right avenue, then why are you creating exemptions from liability? Because now, when this child is permanently damaged, when they are damaged hormonally, when they are damaged psychologically, and they are damaged physically because of your experimentation, whether it's the doctors or the parents, what fallback, what recourse does that child have? Absolutely none. And then, on top of that, that child, as an adult, is now going to become a burden on society in the context that now they are going to want mental health care. They are going to want physical health care. And who's going to wind up paying for that? It's going to be the taxpayers that are going to wind up paying for that.
Absolutely.
So congratulations.
Okay, Julie, you have a choice to make. Number 8 or number 10?
10.
Okay, number 9 it is.
Thank you.
Some carry hate. We carry the largest
Oh my God.
trans pride
Eight.
flag
Go back.
to ever be
What the
flown
fuck?
in a national park, and unfurled it on the side of El Cap to prove a point that trans is natural. The Trump
Oh, yeah.
administration and transphobes would love to have you believe that being trans is unnatural.
I can hear him.
That species that can transition sexes
I'm
can be found on
deflating
every
over here.
continent and in every ocean on planet Earth. So call it a protest, call it a celebration. We
Call
are
it
bringing
mental illness.
elevation
What is
to
going on
liberation.
with
They try to erase us from government websites and education systems and libraries. So we raise this flag higher than ever before, so every trans person knows that they have people that love them in their corner. The people united will never be defeated.
Ugh.
That was horrifying. What was wrong with the jawline on that thing?
I think he had a I don't know, had a mustache.
They, them.
Oh,
That mustache was its own character. Like that thing was thick.
So here's the other thing. So you look at whatever that thing was. That in no way, shape, or form resembles any actual human being. You're dressing up like a clown. Put that picture up. Put the still of that up.
Some carry
for a
hate.
second. Okay, so
We
yeah, just
carry-
freeze it there for a second. Okay, no human being looks like that unless they're trying to get a reaction out of people. So this whole, well, I'm transitioning into this caricature of an actual person. This is ludicrous. This isn't, oh, I feel like I'm the opposite sex of what I was born. This is, I want to be a spectacle. This is, I want attention. I want
Everybody look at
attention.
me.
Everybody look at me. I want validation.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what you get. Oh, and by the way, the rest of you are now forced to accept this. The rest of you are forced to validate this mental illness. And that's exactly what it is. This is a mental illness.
It is.
That dude looks like he smells like cat piss and regret. Straight up.
Okay, I got another one.
Oh,
Yay.
God. Oh, no.
Thank you guys for taking a minute to honor
Oh, for
the life
God's
of George
sakes.
Floyd. George was a father, a brother, and a son.
And
his life, like every life, held meaning. His death exposed the holes that are still in our justice and criminal institutions today. And his 5-year anniversary
Of being
reminds us that we must
so
continue the fight against criminal, racial, and social injustices.
Is that dude,
We cannot
Brittany
stay
Grenier?
silent. Every life deserves respect and dignity. Thank you.
So I'm wondering if Juan can possibly zoom in on this image.
God.
Oh,
I don't
boy.
know if we
Hold on a
can.
second.
Okay. So I would like to mark the 5-year passing of George Floyd. If we can. This is a little meme, and it says, "Life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away."
I can't breathe.
Oh my God.
I can't breathe.
Okay. I
Here
would
comes
like
the
to
band.
celebrate. I would like to celebrate the fact that George Floyd has been crime and drug free for 5 years. It shows the
Good job,
fentanyl
George.
treatment absolutely does work.
Now, here's my question. You were a police officer, right?
Correct.
How long were you a police officer?
I'm still involved. I'm not active patrol, but I train.
Okay, so the practices that they were using that day, were they standard procedure?
Yes. Bottom
Yeah?
line is yeah. So I
Okay.
mean, they were the argument now becomes this. Oh, it's a chokehold. So it's actually called a lateral vascular neck restraint. It's not a chokehold. It does not in any way, shape, or form occlude the airway. And the bottom line, and I actually have the. It's kind
He
of
was
funny
high as a
because it was
motherfucker
the-
on fentanyl.
Yeah,
This is why
so,
he died.
According to his toxicology report, blood,
that
drug,
shit
and
queued up.
novel psycho. Oh yeah, no, I have this. Novel psychoactive substance screens. Fentanyl's 11 nanograms per milliliter, and norfentanyl 5.6 nanograms per milliliter. That motherfucker was dead. He was going to die. And he was not going to die because of anything that Derek Chauvin did. He was going to die because he chose to put a whole shitload of narcotics into his body at a level that would kill the average person. So this is the issue. Unfortunately, Derek Chauvin wound up becoming the patsy because somebody had to go down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 'cause
Somebody
they were
had to go
burning
down.
fucking
And-
cities.
And they will pick, and this is the thing about the left, they will pick cases that are very, very strategic that feeds the narrative. That somehow cops are bad, that all cops are bastards, and all that rhetoric. But the bottom line is that when you look at the people that are pushing this, they are hardcore communists who would like nothing more than the police eliminated, because what do police do? Police protect the interest of private property ownership. And what do the communists want to do? They want to seize your property. They want to seize wealth that they arbitrarily determine that you are either entitled or not entitled to. So who
And they are
stands in
entitled
between
to.
who stands in between your private property rights and people who would like to deprive you of private property? Those who enforce the laws which largely protect the interest of private property ownership. So it's no surprise that outright communists are supporting these BLM movements, which, by the way, was nothing more than a money laundering scam.
Yep,
And
true
then
story.
and then these anti-cop movements, which again are nothing more than a group of communists who would like to see people who protect private property ownership interest rights being eliminated.
Yeah, I never understood this whole fucking defund the police shit. Like, you should want more funding for the police. Defunding them is not the answer. at all.
Well, look at what happened in, I think was it Portland, Oregon, or when they had the autonomous zone that
I was
there?
just about to ask you about that.
And then what wound up happening? They wound up forming a private security force within this Chaz zone, and they had gates and barriers, and they were checking IDs for people coming in. So the very thing that you claim to be standing against, any type of organized security effort and identification with borders, you guys were doing it yourself. So congratulations for being the poster child for assholian hypocrisy.
Assholian.
I am forever going to use that from now on. Assholian.
Assholian hypocrisy. Not only are you a hypocrite, but you're an asshole about it too, because you don't understand that your argument makes no sense.
Yeah, they did that within, what was it, a couple blocks, or was it one block that they squared off?
Yeah, it was a couple of blocks. And it was just this wasteland of literally human excrement and hypodermic needles.
I was going to say, and a lot of drugs. They were like, drugs are legal.
It was a leftist utopia.
Mini San Fran.
We had walls. We had, we had walls. We had people running around with guns who, by the way, had no business, having firearms. Lots of drugs, lots of, nudity, and lots of, excrement, and everything that the left loves. Degeneracy and shit.
It's a bad representation for black women.
Okay, yeah.
It's actually horrible. So many successful black women out here. Why did you have to put LaQuisha? That representation is LaQuisha. The box braids.
I love you.
On the hip. That's attitude. That's a bad representation. There's so many successful black women. Beautiful. You had to go dig up LaQuisha. That's a slap in the face. I couldn't wait to get here to see it. People taking pictures. The young lady took a picture between the legs. They're making a mockery of us. They're making a fool of us. Hurry up and take this down and come with the next project, because that's not nice right there.
Are you conservative?
Am I conservative? Slightly. I can get a bit ratchet.
Would you support over the...
She's so spot on. Of all the black women that they could have put up in a statue, they chose this very generic, dumpy woman, and it's disgraceful.
Who was that? Who was that a statue for?
Nobody. It's just average black woman. It's nobody in particular.
It's just an amalgam of every stereotype that you could possibly
Correct.
create.
Yeah.
So
what the fuck? Where was that?
Was that New York?
New York City.
So even when you look at DEI, and that was one of the titles that was in that clip there, DEI, diversity, right? So where is the diversity? When you look at what the left advocates for, again, you want to talk about assholian hypocrisy? Here we go. Where is the diversity? What you're looking at is this homogenized group of people that are expected to think the same way, act the same way, behave the same way, dress the same way, and believe in the same things. Where is the diversity there? Oh, and the last portion of that, inclusivity and inclusion. Well, geez, you know what? Aren't you supposed to accept all people? So if somebody disagrees with you, shouldn't you respect, first of all, that person's opinion and their individual sovereignty as a human being, respect their human rights? If you expect me to respect your human rights, air fingers quote, which most of these people couldn't tell you what that human right is, well then, again, you have to allow people to express viewpoints that may stand in direct contravention or contradiction to what you believe. That's diversity and that's inclusivity. But again, that doesn't work. So, maybe we should come up with different terms. Again, the left is masters of wordcraft.
Yeah,
but
and
the one
changing
thing that
definitions
they have not
as well.
mastered is the art of actually having conversations with people and critical thinking skills to compare and contrast competing viewpoints. They don't have that skill. But here's the thing. Where has public education, which the majority of these people are products of a public education system. So these public education products, are they actually teaching critical thinking? No. Now what they're teaching is, hey, Barack Obama, this is back in the Obama days, Obama is good and Trump is bad. Biden is good. Trump is bad. It's not, here's viewpoint A. Okay, here are the pros and cons of this as we may apply these to a society. And here is opinion B. And here are the pros and cons to opinion B as it would apply to society as a whole.
Yep.
Now, let's look at these and compare and contrast the merits of this. No, it's if there isn't the encouragement to think critically, that is indoctrination. Here is what is right. This is what is wrong. We're not going to give you any opportunity to question it. We're just going to front load the narrative that this is right, that is wrong. That is indoctrination. That's not critical thinking skills.
Correct.
Absolutely. I'm gonna just wipe that ash off me from that bomb you just dropped. Jesus Christ. Oh, what the fuck?
Woof.
Play that again.
Yeah, bring that back.
That was LeBron James.
Well, let's give that
Right
kid.
there.
Let's give that
10-year-old.
kid an Emmy.
Yeah,
that
LeBron.
that was phenomenal acting.
That's how basketball is nowadays.
That
LeBron
is
James does
crazy. And then they're gonna
That's
try
so
to.
manipulative, though.
They draw fouls. But yeah, for a kid to be doing that, that's pretty insane.
Yeah, that's not a good sign for like future years of just.
No.
I don't even have words for that. Like, what the fuck? There was a whole fucking crowd that saw him do that. It's not like you could
saw him
like
do
Jesse
what?
Smollett
Saw him do what?
throw him fucking self on the ground.
Okay, yeah, just making sure that you saw the same clip that I did.
Yeah,
So-
like
But
there was
nobody's gonna say anything.
exactly.
No.
There was no misinterpretation of like, oh, he pushed me. Like, dude, fucking 200 people just saw you fucking throw yourself to the ground like a psycho. And that's the kid that's in the supermarket too, fucking throwing shit and just like throwing a tantrum because his mom won't buy him fucking V-Bucks or some shit.
All comes back to the parents and
What's
parents
V-Bucks?
raising children.
It's what the fuck is is that Fortnite? I think it's Fortnite stuff.
Okay.
Fortnite.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's Fortnite. It's like
Duh, Keith.
I'm fighting with my fucking 10-year-old right now about V-Bucks because he wants to buy some imaginary fucking Darth Vader skin. It's like, bro, let's go buy a T-shirt or something. Like, what the fuck? Why buy a fake? Oh,
That's
God,
so
I
funny.
don't
You know
get
what?
it. I don't get it.
All my kids want to do is watch Oversimplified on YouTube. That's
What
like
is that?
It's Oversimplified is there are these academic videos that break down like the French Revolution, American Revolution, the Civil War. They take history things and they break them down and they just oversimplify history. And it's called Oversimplified. And they are obsessed with Minecraft and Oversimplified.
I've been getting my kids in. Well, not my kids, just my son. He's been getting really into like Netflix war documentaries.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Like Turning Point Vietnam, and like
Good.
he loves World War II as well. Like he's a huge World War II fan, which makes me really proud that
That's awesome.
He can like name all the dates and shit of like battles and shit. I'm like, hell yeah. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing on Fortnite? Like, let's read some history books, buddy.
All right, here's some. Actually, it's a serious video for you, since you like history.
Okay.
And I bet you didn't know about that.
Oh, hey, before I was looking at one of the preview screens that you have down there. Did you hear Phil Robertson died today?
Yeah.
Yes.
The Duck Dynasty patriarch.
Yeah.
79 years old, I think.
76.
76 years old.
I think it was
Yeah.
Alzheimer's he was
Was it?
battling. Yeah.
Wow.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that.
I got that.
I can't remember. Get it? Alzheimer's.
Okay, here we
That's
go,
the thing
guys.
about Alzheimer's. You get to meet new people every day.
Hell yeah.
That sounds fun, actually.
What if I told you that the greatest college football bowl game ever played doesn't show up in the NCAA record books and doesn't have a printed box score, but instead, this game filled with All-Americans and first-round draft picks was played on a remote island in the South Pacific at the height of World War II? This is the story of the Mosquito Bowl. You see, following the United States entry into World War II, the most able-bodied men of military age were often college athletes, and so many college football players from 1942 to 1945 were either drafted or they willingly enlisted in the war effort. By 1943, a number of major college programs faced rosters so gutted by the number of deployed players that they suspended their programs for the entire season. By 1944, American forces on Guadalcanal, an island in the Pacific Ocean retaken by the U.S. in 1942, had a substantial number of college football players among their ranks. While men from the 29th and 4th Regiments of the 6th Marine Division awaited their mission, they constantly argued over beers about which regiment could field the more formidable football team. To put the talk to rest, they scheduled a game for December 24th, 1944, Christmas Eve. They drew up rosters, employed the regimental bands to mimic collegiate marching bands, used volunteer game officials, and repurposed the PA system, which was intended for urgent and important base announcements, and used it to call the game action. There were no bleachers, but crowd estimates ranged from 3,000 to 10,000 spectators, many of them placing wagers about the outcome. The game was supposed to be touch football, but the Marines seldom held to that rule, inflicting a brutal beating on one another atop a parade ground littered with coral shells, despite the soldiers' best efforts to remove them in the lead-up to kickoff. Due to both teams defending their goal line with the same strength, fortitude, and resilience that they used to defend our country, the game ended in a scoreless tie. Just a few months later, members of the 6th Division were sent to Okinawa, about 400 miles south of the Japanese mainland. On April 1st, 1945, Easter Sunday as it turns out, they went ashore, but many did not return alive. One of the game participants, Lieutenant Irish George Murphy, who captained the 1942 Notre Dame squad, was part of the attack on Sugarloaf Hill, where he and his men were outmanned and faced a steep equipment, weaponry, and supplies disadvantage. While resting briefly after making multiple trips through enemy fire to carry his fellow wounded soldiers to an aid station, Murphy was hit by a mortar fragment, a fatal injury. But ever the competitor, Murphy staggered to his feet, aimed over the hill, and emptied his pistol in the direction of the enemy before finally succumbing to his wounds. Murphy's daughter, who was born just after he deployed for the war, never got to meet her father. Weeks later, additional forces from the 6th Division took Sugarloaf Hill and Okinawa. By August, the war in the Pacific Theater was over. But along the way, Murphy and 11 other collegiate players from the Mosquito Bowl would not make it home to their families, including captains from both squads.
Jesus Christ. I had no idea about that. It's crazy,
That was
though,
cool.
when you think about it, like how many people of Americans died in World War II, and how many of them, you know, if they would have made it home, could have been president, could have been congressmen, could have been senators, and could have changed the entire direction that America went, whether that was good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Corn Pop served.
I think he did.
He was a bad dude.
He was. He was a bad fucking dude.
So I do have to make a correction because evidently whoever filled out the form was incorrect here. So we're going to do this, and we're going to. So you put the wrong number down there, Skip. So generally, if you want to get people
That's
to
why
call
nobody
the
calls
show,
in.
you got to put the right number down. So we're going to do this. I'm gonna do this. With Tyler.
I'm paying
all right,
attention.
So, all right. 833-603-8255 if you'd like to be a part of tonight's program. Yeah, you do it.
833-603-8255. You'd like to be a part of tonight's program.
Almost.
I'll get there.
We're gonna get
I'll
you.
get there.
So, all right. 833-603-TALK. That's 833-603-8255.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
If anybody did call, whoever's at that 888 number, they're probably mad as fuck. Just so many people calling their house right now.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
But the funny thing is that Keith knows that number by heart.
I do.
This is true. This is
Gaslighting.
true.
That's yeah.
Gaslighting.
You were rattling that shit
Lover's
off
quarrel.
with confidence.
I just
You
I
say it
wanna
every
check.
week.
I just want to check something here.
You gonna call it?
Yes, Mike. Let's do that.
You've reached 800 Fat Girl, where it's just so easy to stick it in. Your credit card, that is.
All right, so that is definitely not us.
You did not.
So-
That's not the 888
For
number.
anybody
Shut
who
the
wants
fuck
to
up.
know, he typed that shit out from memory. Okay.
All right, let's actually
No,
say
call that again. I wanna
1-888
talk to fat girls.
603-8255.
Yeah, we got to apologize to them.
All right, so this is.
I wanna talk to- Oh.
Please be somebody.
Fat girls. Fat.
This call may be recorded for quality assurance.
Uh-oh.
We have a special promotion today for select callers. If you are over 50, please press 1 now. If not, press 2.
All right, let's see what our special promotion is.
Yeah, I want to know what.
Is it a fat girl?
Hello and congratulations. Just for calling today, we're offering you a free medical alert device.
Oh,
You know-
boy.
Oh my god.
We should
Free
forward it over to
pacemaker.
Hillary. I've fallen and I can't get up. We're sending help right away, Mrs. Clinton.
I wonder how many people, like older folks, just tried to call that number thinking they were going to get a hold of us and ended up with a free alert. They're like, you know what? I called.
We did a good deed then. They get a free fucking medical device.
I'm
out
gonna
of us.
call. I'm gonna
You're
take it
welcome.
anyway.
Over 50 community.
All right, so that is 833, not 888. So 833-603-8255.
Call the fat girl's number back.
Oh, you got to give us a credit card? So.
No. That's on you, buddy.
Oh my god. That You had that shit memorized.
Well, I just typed it out.
That's okay. I don't judge.
It's always
I don't
interesting
judge.
to see what you get if you just type numbers out. So.
I know they
have
used,
a liberal call.
They used to have a bunch of those phone numbers.
1-800-LIBERAL. I wonder what that would be.
Ooh.
We should make one.
1-800-DEMOCRATS? I don't know.
That might be something.
Like
Joe Biden
1-800
picks up
Dems.
ice cream.
No joke.
Jill changed my diaper.
1-800-LIBERAL.
1-800.
1-800-LIBERAL.
Oh God, please be somebody.
Kamala?
We were thinking about doing a segment of this, of prank calls.
Remember Crank Yankers?
Yes.
I love Crank Yankers.
Yes, I love that.
So good.
Comedy Central.
Hey, you got mail, yay.
I guess we got them outside of business hours.
They don't have jobs.
No. Remember the...
You have reached the Liberal Convention and Visitor Center.
Oh my God!
If you'd like some information,
Yes.
please leave your name and number,
My
and we will
address.
call you back as soon as possible. Thanks, and have
Leave
a
a
great day.
message.
Yes, hello. My name is Keith. I'm calling from Granite State Live. If you can give us a call back, we would love to have a conversation with you. 833-603-8255. That's 833-603-TALK. Give us a call at your convenience. We would love to have you on. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I was not expecting
It's
that.
actually a number.
It's really a number.
How about that?
Oh
we can
my
have some fun
God.
with this. 1-800-DEMOCRAT. D-E-M-O-C-R-A-T. Yeah, 7 letters.
Or yeah. Oh my God, that we gotta try to keep in contact with them. We gotta keep that number.
Keep in contact like they're your friends now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be calling them. We were straight up talking about doing like a prank call segment of where we just have people, send the TikTok page like phone numbers for people they want us to call, and then we call them live on air, and just either shit talk to them.
All right, thank you for your $500 donation to the DNC, to like a Republican or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Just completely fuck with people. I think we should try to move forward with that segment. That would be super. Yeah, we're getting the nod.
Yeah.
He's down
Hey,
for
I was
it.
looking for Amelia.
Yes, this is she.
Oh,
Hey,
yes.
Amelia, this is Colby Sazerac. I'm calling from Singles. How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. Thank you for signing up with our service. I'm one of the coordinators here, and may I be the first to say congratulations on jumping back in the dating pool.
Thanks.
Splish,
Thank you.
splash. It's time to get our feet wet, huh?
She's like, yep, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Right.
So what happened? Did you get dumped or divorced? Why are you out in the market again?
Is that really pertinent?
Well, it just kind of helps me personally know how much baggage you got going on before I send you out into the wild.
Yeah, my baggage is none of your business. I mean, that's pretty rude to ask someone what their baggage is that you don't even know.
Yeah, but ma'am, everybody has baggage, right? Some people have a carry-on. Some people are checking like 12 items. You know what I'm saying? So what are you?
Who are you to judge my character? You don't know me.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say you got quite a bit of baggage going on, which is not a bad thing. Not a big
Excuse me,
deal.
no. I do not have baggage.
All I'm trying to do is
Bullshit.
get to know you because we like to help our clients as best as possible. Okay?
Okay.
And I apologize if you felt that I was
She
being
wants
insensitive.
to.
So
Thank you. Fine. Okay, that was rude. Just let's
I knew
move
it.
on.
let's move on from that.
Okay.
How many men have you slept with?
Are you kidding me? That is so there is no way I'm answering that question.
Okay, so it's more than 5, I'm guessing, by your answer there. Because, you know,
This is
normally...
unbelievable.
Well,
I mean, this is I'm really regretting signing up right now.
It-
This is unbelievable.
In my
It's
experience,
completely inappropriate.
women who have slept with less than 5 people or 5 people, they'll tell you. But if it's over 5, like off of one hand, they won't admit to it. So I'm going to put you down.
None of your damn business.
Well, I think it is my business.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
trying to
over
help
5.
you date again.
For sure.
No, it is not nobody's business but my own.
All right. Well,
Nobody's business.
I'm putting you down for 25 men. That's a good estimate?
No, are you kidding me?
Ma'am, I don't know why you're getting so angry. These are just questions that I need to know in order to help you get out in the
No, you
dating world.
don't need to know it. I mean, it doesn't make sense. What do you match people up by the number of sexual partners they've had? I mean, it's absurd.
Yes, ma'am. Think about it. You don't want to put a race car driver behind the wheel of a Kia. You know what I'm saying? In the same respect, you don't want to put someone who just got their permit in the driver's seat of a Ferrari.
No. That's enough.
So what
No
I'm asking
more.
is,
valid,
what are
though.
you, a Ferrari or a Kia?
No, I am a human being. I'm a woman. I'm none of.
She's a
I'm
Kia.
neither.
I don't know where to check that off. I need an answer on one of those. Like, how many miles you got? Have the tires been
I'm gonna cancel
rotated?
my service if you ask me one more time.
210,000 miles.
Are you laughing?
Blown
right
two
now? Are you
trannies.
seriously laughing?
Salvage.
Not at all, ma'am. I'm just curious, to see how many times the odometer has rolled past 100,000 miles, or
Oh
if
my
you're still.
God! I'm seriously. I'm going to cancel my check. I'm going to call the Better Business Bureau, and I will be writing a scathing Yelp
She wrote a
review
check
on,
for that?
on your service.
Wow.
This is
Who the hell uses a checkbook
Before you
these
cancel
days?
your check and you call the Better
I don't know.
Business
My
Bureau
wife,
and everything,
my wife
I
writes
should
a lot
probably
of
tell you
checks.
that this is
She
a prank
likes having
phone call.
checks.
I can understand
And
for
then
like mortgage, rent, whatever, writing a check, but
Oh, there you are. Hi, Claire. You're back.
hey.
That's true, though. Not a lot of people use checks nowadays.
Well,
It's kind of a-
it's called a debit card.
or
The hell?
balancing a checkbook.
Yeah.
That's not like a thing nowadays.
Some people do it. I have some clients that still do it, but they are over the age of 65, so.
That was like balancing like a when my first job, it was at a general store in the mountains up north, and it was the first time I actually ever had a bank account. And I gotta give the dude, I don't even know if he's still alive, but he made me an ATM account instead of a checking account because he knew that I would go and do heathenish shit with the money. But he's the one who taught me how to like balance checkbooks and shit from a really young age. And he used to schedule me. I gotta give him props for this. He used to schedule me during the weekend so I would not go out and party. He knew that if
Oh, he's
he
looking out
gave
for
me the free
you.
time, and he was totally right. I totally would have went out and just gotten so much fucking trouble. But
Oh, I hear a.
I hear disco.
We're getting the tones.
We're getting the get the fuck out of the air.
Wow.
All right, well, we're gonna wrap it up. Claire, where can everybody find you on social media?
You can go follow me on TikTok at Claire Patriot or Claire Patriot 2 because TikTok is fun, so we have to have two accounts.
We love TikTok.
Yep, you gotta have backups and backups to the backups.
TikTok's the best.
Remember, Claire, Byron Donalds for governor.
Yes.
Byron
yes,
for
he's
Florida.
amazing.
Byron
I
for
wish
Florida.
I knew what you guys were talking about.
Byron Donalds.
You would look
Congressman
him up.
Byron
You would
Donalds.
like him.
Donalds.
You would like him.
Yep, Byron is
He's
Byron's a
amazing.
solid conservative. He's a great guy.
Hell
So-
yeah, Julie, where can everybody find you?
At the Pretty Patriot _ on TikTok and Instagram, and yourself.
I can be found on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, X. I'll probably be on Gitter soon. Juan was showing me. Yeah, he's giving me the head nod. He's like, yeah, get on Gitter.
Keith, we get you onto. Well, not we. You're on social media now,
Well,
but
I'm on-
you're under the radar.
I lurk.
You're under
so.
the radar.
You
But
need to build
Keith
your
watches.
TikTok page.
I don't give a shit about my TikTok
you
page.
need
I really
to-
don't.
You are.
I have a life that doesn't surround.
You
doesn't-
have a gift for shit talking, and TikTok is where to do it.
Okay,
You
so
need
I
to
should
get
shut-
on.
I should
Every
shit talk.
Tuesday, 9:30, you can see us streaming live, ramtv.live, X, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok on either my account, fucking history.
We'll give you guys the right phone number
Sometimes
next.
Right America Media,
one more
sometimes
time.
Shadow
One more
Band.
time, Tyler.
833-603-8255. That is 833-603-8255. Call us
right.
next week and we'll have some fun.
Good job.
Wow, look at
all right,
that.
the outro, I
Mad,
did it.
mad
I
props
did
for
it.
that. So.
Look at that.
Claire, thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, thank you.
Oh,
Hope you
thanks
had
for
What
having
you're
me.
getting yourself into. I'm sorry. It's a little vulgar over here.
It was fun.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it.
All right, everybody, make good
Everybody-
decisions. Drink milk.
Ah, not the milk.
You gotta have the milk. Strong bones. We'll see you next week.
Chug yogurt.